Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm excited to share with you one of my full runs using the Falchion. I end up using the Falchion a lot in my dual sword setup. Right here I'm using a blue one. Not amazing stats, but still pretty strong. Originally, when I first started making fighter videos, I had the Falchion ranked as one of my least favorite weapons. Largely because of its side-to-side swing pattern, which this guy is gracefully demonstrating on the Maul, as you end up catching a lot of arms. The swing speed's very slow, and it's just incredibly good at smashing into walls when you're trying to kill people. So for those reasons, I largely avoided the Falchion. Until that is, I started playing a lot more dual sword. It started to become a weapon I liked, and the reason why I started to like it again was because that 15% attack speed ends up hiding a lot of its weaknesses. That, and the fact that I usually use light gear on my dual sword fighter means my movement speed penalty isn't quite as bad when you're using the Falchion over the arming sword. It's not quite as noticeable. And lastly, if you run Adrenaline Rush, the recovery on hitting walls is just incredible. So getting this one started, we actually have a pretty okay spawn. Consider pretty much any spawn that's not a center spawn just okay. I much prefer being in the middle of the map as a solo player than out on the exteriors. Constantly having the zone working against you just isn't great. Especially because clearing mobs and looting just takes a lot of time, as I've mentioned before. So it's just pretty much a disadvantage being out here. However, there is some good loot close by. We end up snagging a few okay items. And then you kind of have to make a decision, how much time or loot am I actually going to worry about getting? I never actually used plate pants, so finding a cheap pair of leather leggings or something similar, it's actually something I will use for my other builds. I think I hear something here, but it's just a false alarm. I still get a lot of flashbacks to the playtest before, where everyone spawned in the exteriors, and at the end of it, it became like a PvP death sentence if you end up spawning next to a 3-man team that knew your spawn location. I'll have to say, alongside Death Beetles, these guys are probably one of my least favorite mobs in the game. That gas cloud thing lingers for so long, and it's really difficult to kill them before they start coughing that stuff up. You'll notice these skeletons are dropping pretty quickly with the nice attack speed bonus we get from dual wield. And actually we find another Falchion, which will be pretty handy for any budget builds we do in the future. There's 2 swings. We got 3, 4, 5, 6 swings. 7 swings. So the earlier skeletons we were killing on like 3 hits with a blue Falchion. And really with a blue arming sword you'd be doing something similar. The weakness with the Falchion... Oh, this is kind of a nice helmet. Okay, not bad. I swear sometimes those barrels are better than most chests. And faster to loot. But back to my main point, Falchion loves to hit people in the arms and mobs, so make sure you're swinging for the head. And rooms like this are the sole reason why I love crossbow. I just wish it had a little bit better projectile speed. That'd be a huge game changer for engagements like this. Just wait for the right moment. Usually they stop. Yep, and then you see the little stutter. I love that, like the little spaz out they do when you hit them with an arrow. That one's actually kind of right in the eyeball, so. Looks like these guys are probably just going to mess off. Honestly, I'm not afraid of all 2v1ing them, or 1v2ing them, however you want to put it. They looked like they had pretty light gear, and have already both been tagged by a crossbow bolt. Now it looks like I have this whole room for myself, which is good and bad. I mean, there's almost too many mobs. Oh. Skeleton Wizard over there is giving these guys a hell of a time. So back to clearing this room out, which if I was actually doing this full room, it would probably take me an entire raid or run, because there's just mobs everywhere. I would like to see what's in this chest, though. This guy's a little broken right now, but we'll take it. This would be a terrible place to get caught by a team. I think I just aggroed Wraith, too. I'm not sure if that's what that noise meant. And this guy actually drops a purple helmet, which is very nice for the normal dungeon. Almost as nice as having people subscribe to your channel because they like your videos. I find helmets like this with spell casting speed and stuff just so disappointing. I think my blue one might actually be better at the kettle hat. Let's pop this open and hopefully we get another purple. Basically some stuff to sell. Fortunately, probably should have grabbed that stiletto. Though this could have been right around the time when the trade was down for like almost 2 days. So I'm now much more focused on the mobs than a 30 or 40 G dagger. Mummies may be slow, but when they do catch you, do they hurt. Half HP, one swing. And then in my pure frustration, I'm dumb enough to get caught by another one. Seriously wasn't looking up the front zombie. I was trying to catch the trailing one with headshots through the cleave. And instead of just focusing on one at a time, trying to become more efficient gets me hurt. So that was a waste of a lot of meds, which happens so quickly. 1 minute you're just casually shooting some bolts at some guys, no fear at all of the mobs in front of you, and then you make 2 mistakes and get smacked by 2 mummies and you're down like 70 HP points. So now I'm gonna have to burn a lot of my meds simply to make it through this and get back to full HP. May have been a better option just the campfire here, rather than burning through all my pots. But I only like campfiring if I've burned Adrenaline Rush, so it's kind of a weird situation. Because if I do find another campfire, that means I'm golden to get a refreshed Adrenaline Rush. So I'm kind of debating with myself right now, what meds do I want to burn? So I end up saying the hell with it. This is actually a huge waste, really, in terms of full healing. I should have used this first. But seeing that the ring is starting to get somewhat close to center, there may not be too many portals left and too many opportunities to actually use a campfire. Because as you can tell, it takes a long time to set up, a long time to use. So, save my pots, which are great when you're in a fight, and move on. Just accept that I made a mistake. Alright, so feeling fresh and ready to go. And I almost immediately hear mummies on the other side of this room. Sounds like lots of footsteps as well. And obviously a barb. We tag the wizard. Probably least amount of protections of anyone on that team. And then try to whittle down the barb. Now we're in basically a range battle with this guy. Fully expecting him to push me here because it's literally 3v1. They may not know that, but I pot up just in case. And I think they're backing off. And I know why now. I hear guys to my left. So they're actually taking arrows from me and another team. Which isn't great for me. Sounds like multiple players too. So if either of these teams push me here, I'm basically screwed. Because the third party or the team with 3 that sits back and watches can just basically take me out once this is over. Unless I get lucky. but I'm almost always going to take a lot of damage if you're in any 3v1. And magically things just got super quiet. I'm actually really surprised a lot of these teams are playing this passive. Here's footsteps coming back. And back quickly. So we pot up again just in case. Looks like they're still mad about those arrows because they are coming on strong. Cleric actually hits me with a bind, which I've never seen up until this point. Had me super confused, but his barb was not close enough to follow up. Another crazy good bind by the cleric. Keeps me from hitting his wizard in the face with my Falchion. And this is starting to really annoy me. I'm holding this corner just waiting for the right moment to use Adrenaline Rush. My big fear is that Barbarian's Axe, which I have to avoid. And there we go. Basically holding W and relying on an Adrenaline Rush. Even clattering into walls, which is something the Falchion does a lot. I was able to keep swinging and keep dealing damage. It did help that the wizard accidentally stabbed his barb friend. But we get a lot of loot from this. I'm also pretty happy with how much damage I was able to do in such a short window with Adrenaline Rush. Basically just full send. And even though it is only a single use, we are certainly reaping the rewards from that use. We end up getting a nice little convenient portal. I'm going to bandage up just in case. I don't really know what's on the other side of this room. Well, turns out someone's actually just popped the portal open, so might actually finish bandaging just in case I get into a fight here. I'm hearing more footsteps. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of tempted to go fight this guy. But he already has the portal pop, so it kind of leaves me at a disadvantage. Yeah, he chickens out, so... Wow, look at all the blues. It means a lot of people didn't make it out. So, thanks to Adrenaline Rush, we end up making it out alive with a full inventory of loot. So look, guys, once again, if you really like this content, I'm going to keep it going. But I appreciate the subs, I appreciate the likes and the comments. Leave your thoughts. I usually try to reply to most of them. And we're about a month away. So, we're getting there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not terribly far away. There's still a bit of a wait. And I'm really excited to try out Adrenaline Rush in the next playtest as well. I can't wait to see what perks and skills we're going to be getting. I really hope there's stuff that will support dual sword type build that I'm using. But for now, I'll see all you guys in the dungeon on April 14th.